Hello everybody. Today I sat down and tried to create a bee-based build in Minecraft Dungeons. Now, I tried different things, and because I got the Beehive Armor, but this one didn't have, you see, it has 30% chance to summon the bee on hit, maximum 3, which is nice by the way. It's good. And actually a poison barrier, nice. But I wanted spawn bees when rolling. So actually have this armor, Ream armor, which spawn bees when rolling. Now if I had it had a gilded one with both chance to summon a bee when hit and spawn bees when rolling, even enchantment, that would be great, especially with beast boss, which increase damage, and beast surge, I would be very happy. But you can get everything. So I should try to use Grim armor, which has Lifestealer aura, and use a high damaging weapon, which has Busy Bee as well. So if I had everything that I wanted, I actually can spawn 9 bees, and I have the ability to buff, and I have protection here, Iron and Amulet. But again, I could drop this and use other weapon that has very good healing capabilities, maybe with Busy Bee. Yeah, this one wasn't good, isn't good. No, sorry, not this one. Where is it? This one. This isn't good. So again, it's very hard to come by the right ones that works perfectly. I mean, having a gilded Beehive armor would be amazing, but getting a drop with Beast Boss and Bee Surge and having spawn bees when rolling as well, right? I wish. And poison barrier, well, that would be perfect, right? And also have a busy bee and a high damaging one. Well, the thing is that I tried this one and it didn't work. It worked good, but it wasn't great. I also had the Anima Convi because of the lack of, strong, especially with the armor, which is a bit low. You can see it's not at 2051, so it's a bit low. So in terms of survivability, no poison barrier, hard to kind of dive into fights. Although that's what I wanted. I'm going to show you gameplay in a second. And I didn't want Ironite Amulet. Again, this is because there's something lacking, so you use it. And it can be very powerful if you have the right things, if you have an army of bees. But for this, you really need to kind of have everything, like to really kind of make the best of it. But having this as a drop is so hard, and farming for a Beehive Armor gilded one. Wow. So I have a Renegade armor as well here, by the way, which could be pretty good because it has Tumble Bee when I roll, alright? So I have Deflect here, I have a melee attack speed, damage reduction. This one doesn't have damage reduction, which is why I actually got hammered quite hard in certain fights. Because we get the full damage, and you don't really learn how to appreciate damage reduction until you actually dive in without one. So even lifesteal is kind of, you find it very hard to compete against the incoming damage. So basically, the ultimate one would be probably a Beehive Armor gilded one with Spawn Bee when rolling, Beastie Boss, Bee Surge, and Potion Barrier. Something to wish for, right? But again, if you have, for example, Wither Armor with ones, this can be good as well because Wither Armor has damage reduction. All right, it's pretty good. Now, the reason I don't use, again, gameplay in a second. The reason I don't use Buzzy Nest is again because it's not mobile. You need to place it, and come on. For certain situation, you can just swap it in. All right, just in certain boss fights or maybe you can just swap it in certain situation. But overall, I don't use it. I want something more mobile. You can just move with this, and then just putting things. And sometimes you just put it and move forward, and they're not following you at all. And you need to use Hunter's Bow for them to attack. Who needs this? Just heard the build. So basically I'm going to show you gameplay of me using this one. With this one with Burst Bursting, cooldown shot, reducing the cooldowns of the artifacts. And also giving me extra healing. With the Anima Conduit when I collect souls. We're going to use this one. You can see pretty good, but far from being great. And I use pickaxe for damage and Buzzy Bee for spawning bees after defeating a mob, 40% chance, so great chance for them to spawn, especially we are defeating many enemies. Alright, and they don't last forever, but they're quite squishy, so we need to buff them up. And we have also Beat Surge when we activate our healing, and we can activate healing not if you want to heal, by the way. If we have Potion Barrier, that would be ultimate, because when we jump into a fight with lots of enemies, we want to Potion Barrier and also want to clear everything fast. So we actually buff this at the same time. We protect ourselves and also buff the our pets, our bees, and then we can clear things very, very fast. This is the ultimate thing. But again, no Potion Barrier here. This will be, by the way, much better for this one, but we don't have it. Alright, Apocalypse plus 25. So the chances that you can't buy perfect items is really very, very hard, especially when talking about gilded. So I don't expect many players to have it. That's why I explained to you here for B builds what you can actually, good things you can have, and if you have them, great, but the chances to come by a perfect one, very, very, very low. And again, if you have it, you're very lucky. So what I do here, again, it's important to remember to roll, again, to spawn bees. Something to keep in mind, again, this is a different build. You need to roll, and you need to buff them with the tone activated. And attack enemies, of course, yourself, because they're going to do lots of damage. Now, the bees are going to do several things. First, they're going to aggro the enemies. So some enemies, especially big one, you can let the bees aggro them and attack them from a different angle. They're going to deal damage, of course, especially when they buff up, they can deal lots of damage. But they can be quite squishy. And the thing is that you can really reposition them, like, for example, the lantern, when you can just tap and they're going to spawn near you. So they're doing their own thing. That's why they kind of when they get lots of damage, they're just going to disappear. But the good thing is that you can always spawn more. That's why I like the ability to just roll and spawn them. And if you roll again, you reduce your cooldowns when you're attacking your enemies by just rolling. And then, of course, you're going to have things up ready for more. It's important to know when to attack, especially when you don't have, I don't have lots of protection here and relatively low armor. I need 251, and I actually felt it. Low damage reduction, lower armor, so this is again not very ideal, especially at the highest difficulty. But again, you can actually see that I can survive well, even with these things in mind. If I have Potion Barrier, it would be great. I can activate it. You see, I'm just buffing up everything here with the Ironhead Amulet, extra protection. So if I have like Potion Barrier with activated, it will buff the damage and the speed of the bees, and also protects me, so I can actually, when there are things like that, you know, lots of groups of enchanted enemies, this would be the perfect thing. But I didn't have it, so I need to know how to approach it. So it's kind of difficult in a way. Again, we need to continue rolling. And again, of course, we can have more than 3 bees. When we're defeating enemies and rolling, we can have up to 6 bees. But again, they're disappearing after a relatively short time, so you need to make sure to always spawn them. And that's the good thing. They are done, no problem. They get hit, no problem, just roll again. And that's the good thing about it. Like, no cooldowns on the thing, just roll and spawn more bees. Now this is a situation where there are lots of burning, so if I get in, especially if I don't have Potion Barrier, this is very problematic. So again, I let the bees kind of do their thing, but you can see that where they are also getting hurt by this, and they are going really fast. And that's why I need to actually buff them up. Again, once I see that I can actually get in, see the damage. I'm getting like 100% of the damage. There's no damage reduction here, and this is one of the main downsides. So this armor is good at certain things, but not good at others, especially when it's not even 251 for that extra HP. That in this case, because we're getting full damage, it will be helpful to some degree, of course. The damage of the pickaxe is great, and with the damage over time of the poison, which is nice. Again, it's very powerful. But again, the idea wasn't to be the main thing, right? Although I know that the bees are going to get aggro, again, if I position myself properly, to deal lots of damage from another side without actually getting hit, to reduce the incoming damage, basically. This is for Potion Barrier situation, right? You activate it, you go in, you buff everything, but as you can see here, there's a problem, right? I can't sustain lots of AoE damage on the ground because I'm getting the full damage, no damage reduction, right? And this is really problematic. I could easily die there. That's why I put Anima Code V, as you can see it actually helps me, because I can heal with the souls. But again, this is because it's not ideal, right? Otherwise I wouldn't use it. Probably use something else. Probably another bow to reduce the cooldowns, but not this one with the Anima Code V. Although it's a possibility you can use it if you want. It won't kind of break anything, right? Give you just extra support. Yeah. So again, it feels very powerful, but you definitely feel when it's lacking, especially when there are lots of enchanted enemies in AoE. When you want this extra, well, protection, you don't have it. So the Wither Armor or the Beehive Armor, because Beehive Armor also has the 35% melee reduction. That's why it's so good, by the way. If you have it, of course, yeah, with gilded one. I mean gilded one. And of course you can get hit, so you actually can spawn more bees, right? So maybe it's time to kind of farm for this type of armor, or maybe get a good drop. But again, just imagine getting this one and also getting it with the right enchantment. The chances very low. So yeah, so this build is actually can be very, very powerful, but I couldn't create it, right? I couldn't. I wished, but I can't. I can't. I feel so bad because I want it so much. I do have a good build for the the Lantern Army that I created, which is really, really powerful, by the way, and they're also more resilient, by the way, compared to the bees. Very, very powerful. But again, I wanted something with bees because you have this really cool enchantment to spawn bees when rolling, which is great. You don't need to wait for any cooldown. You roll and that's it. Here it is, a big root. You will just one slap every bee and just eliminate it. Look at it. Chick! The bee is gone, right? Cool thing is they can actually let them aggro and actually attack him for another angle. I mean, I can do this as well. So, I mean, there are advantages and disadvantages, but again, this is something that the bees can easily get wiped. But if you buff them and the enemies won't attack you all the time, you can get rid of big enemies quite fast. So yeah. It's really fun. It's really fun having the option to just spawn pets near you and buff them up without waiting for anything. And you can get extra ones, yeah, on the way. Yeah, so do you have that amazing Beehive Armor, the perfect one, or Wither Armor, perfect one for a bees build? Let me know. That would be amazing. I really want to play with this. I really, really want to, but I can't. Because, again, I know that the chances for me to get this is very, very low. But once you get really a god roll, you're gonna be like, you're gonna have the perfect bee build and you're gonna have so much fun. It'll be so powerful. So this is it for this video. Some dreams, again, and some thoughts of what you can use in order to really make the most out of this. Again, weapons is kind of more flexible, which is pretty cool. I really like flexibility when it comes to builds. Here I'm actually stuck in the tunnel. Not that smart, but what can I do? Happens. Yeah, so let me think. Tell me what you think, and have you tried a bee build before? And do you have the right enchantments and armor to make it the best out of it? Let me know in the comment section below. And again, I'm sorry that I couldn't kind of create one that the ultimate bee build, but I told you when it comes to drops of armor, I'm not that lucky at all. Unfortunately. Yeah, I see you on the next video. Consider subscribing to my channel. Give this one a little like. More coming. So hopefully we'll make good use of this video and create an amazing bee build. I see you on the next one. Thanks for watching, everyone. Cheers. Bye bye.